If you're a college football fan, then I know you've heard the name Knute Rockne. Hi, I'm Richard, and what you may have forgotten is what Knute Rockne and Gus Darius did 107 years ago this year. They were both employees at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, and what they did on that beach on the shores of Lake Erie was perfect the forward pass. Now, the forward pass was legalized in 1906, but it wasn't used very often up to this point. Now, later that fall, Notre Dame played a very tough Army team. And according to the movie Knute Rockne All-American, Notre Dame was behind at halftime and convinced the coach that he and Darius should probably put in that forward pass. And as the story goes, Notre Dame put in the forward pass. Army had little or no defense for it, and Notre Dame went on to win over a very tough Army team. Now, I believe that's one of the reasons Rockne's legend lives on. He was a great motivator. He was an ambassador for the sport, but even more so, he was an innovator. These are some of the reasons that I think Rockne became such a successful coach and an ambassador for the game, which unfortunately led to his untimely death. There's no doubt, however, that his championship teams put Notre Dame and South Bend on the map. And today, that's right, we're heading to South Bend, Indiana, the University of Notre Dame, and we're going to visit the House That Rockne Built. We're also going to visit two of his former residences, and then I'm going to take you to his final resting place. And I dedicate this video to those fellows that I coach football with, especially Coach Topolsky and Coach Neville. They have seats in a higher place. And if you like this kind of content, you want to add variety to your viewing, and you want to expand your horizons, then go ahead, hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell, so you can keep up with What's Up with Richard. We're just east of the stadium now. Right over here is where Notre Dame plays basketball. And on the other side of that parking lot, in the distance, hockey. This is Edward Moose Krause, athletic director at Notre Dame for many years. In fact, the road we just came in was named after Moose Krause. I'm not sure, but I think that's a leprechaun up there. These are all former coaches, but the real reason we're here is coming up next. Right now we're just looking through one of the gates, but if you see that brick structure, that is the original Notre Dame Stadium that Rockne had built in 1930. You can see the stands there, and just a slight opening into the field. Everything else that you see here is the 1997 edition. Now, Rockne took interest in its design. He made sure that sod from the old Carter Field was transplanted into the new stadium here. He made sure that it was only used for football. He kept the area between the stands and the field small to keep what he called sideline guests to a minimum. He also supervised the parking and traffic that basically is used today. Unfortunately, Rockne only coached one season in this new stadium in 1930. And they were national champions. You can see on the banner. As he passed away March 31st, 1931. Lou Holt's Gate is being used for COVID testing today. Sign of our times. We're all wearing our masks on campus today. We're leaving campus now and heading to the former homes of Knute Rockne. Just a short distance from campus. Knute Rockne lived here from 1922 to 1929. And next we're heading to the home that he had built in 1929, just a short distance from here. Another short drive and we're at the last residence of Knute Rockne. The house was commissioned by Rockne in 1929, just a couple of years before he was killed. The English Tudor style home has features common to the times: leaded glass windows, has a limestone fireplace, wrought iron fixtures and railings. And you can look online for more info and photos of the interior. The South Tribune did an article in 2014 when the home was up for sale, and it included some photos of the interior. They noted that the home was very much the same as when Rockne lived here. You can Google Knute Rockne home and you should be able to find it. Rockne's wake was actually held in the home here. His family lived here until his wife Bonnie's death in 1956. And now let's head to Knute Rockne's final resting place, Highland Cemetery, just a short distance from here. We've now arrived to the gravesite of Rockne, located at Highland Cemetery here in South Bend, Indiana. Now, a lot of people mistake this for his gravesite, but this is a monument to his honor. It says Knute Rockne, March 4th, 1888, March 31st, 1931, legendary football coach, University of Notre Dame. Record 105 wins, 12 losses, 5 ties. A dynamic, innovative leader who captured America's imagination. He was a builder of champions in football and in life. This is a replica of the one in Oslo, Norway, at his birthplace. Now let's walk over to his actual gravesite, which is across the road. His grave is a simple stone. Along with his wife Bonnie, who passed away in 1956. And son William. On March 31st, 1913, Rockne boarded transcontinental and Western Air Flight 599 at Kansas City. He was headed to Los Angeles, California to help in a production of a movie called The Spirit of Notre Dame. The plane, flying in questionable weather, went down a short distance from Bizarre, Kansas, killing Rockne and the other 7 passengers. President Herbert Hoover called it a national loss, and he also received tribute from the King of Norway. His funeral mass was at the Basilica of the Sacred Heart on the campus of Notre Dame, and his remains brought here for his final resting place. And in remembrance of my dad, a big Notre Dame fan and graduate, my Uncle John, and my Uncle Bob, and Cousin Skip, I'll leave this penny at the gravesite of Knute Rockne.